What's going on, everybody? Radio here, and we are back with another video. A little while ago, we talked about the SpaceX IPO and their crazy valuation at 1.5 trillion. Yesterday, we had some interesting news. Let's get into it. SpaceX has $30 billion deal to provide Google with AI computing power. Elon Musk's rocket company said Google would pay it $920 million a month as it prepared for its initial public offering. This comes at the heels of them filing for IPO, so they're really trying to make sure that they provide all this value and really look good on paper. But it's SpaceX. Honestly, it's mostly the idea of it, not the actual product at all. So I don't know what they're even worried about. It could be their filing could have been, oh, SpaceX, it's Elon Musk's AI company. Boom, $1 trillion right there. Is Elon Musk's AI company that's gonna be in humanoid robots that's gonna take us to Mars. Boom, $2 trillion valuation right there, dude. I don't know why are they trying so hard, but you know, good for them. It's very interesting that they're making these deals. Let's read a little bit about it. SpaceX revealed in a regulatory filing on Friday that Google will pay it $920 million a month for computing power, pumping billions of dollars into Elon Musk's rocket company as it prepares for a blockbuster initial public offering. We initially talked about it being 1.5 trillion, but I think they were trying to open at 135 a share. So they were estimating 1.7 trillion, but I'm not sure how accurate is that. So we'll see when they actually go live. The agreement, which starts in October, runs through June 2029, could earn SpaceX about $30 billion in total. It also helps establish SpaceX, which owns Mr. Musk's artificial intelligence lab, XAI, as a major infrastructure provider as companies compete in a fierce global race to dominate AI. As part of this agreement, Google will gain access to about 110,000 AI chips from NVIDIA, which Google said would help it meet larger than expected customer demand for its AI models, which is very interesting because Google had their own TPUs. So them needing more chips and saying it's all this demand for AI is very interesting, especially since they just updated their Gemini and they're trying to provide all these services. So I think they're really preparing for some big major moves later in the summer. They were talking about rolling out a lot of new features for Gemini in the summer. So this could be in preparation for that. The tech giant said in April that its cloud business had contracts totaling $460 billion that had yet to be fulfilled as revenue, indicating enormous demand for its services. Google Cloud and SpaceX are longtime partners, a Google Cloud spokesman said in a statement. This is a short-term, timely agreement to ensure we have bridge capacity to meet surging customer demand for our agent platform, Gemini Enterprise. Oh, okay. Which has been even higher than we expected. So it's not only the consumer demand, but it's the enterprise demand. SpaceX did not immediately respond to a request for comment. All right, they just made their money. Why would they? SpaceX reached a similar deal last month to provide Anthropic, another leading AI lab, with computing power. They're really getting around, man. SpaceX getting around with Google, with Anthropic is very interesting. Anthropic, which is also expected to go public this year, is paying SpaceX $1.5 billion a month, so a little more than Google. SpaceX is expected to go public next week in a deal that could value the company more than $1.7 trillion and make Mr. Musk a trillionaire. As part of that process, the company has shed more light on its financial details in recent weeks to entice investors. Talked about it a little bit earlier. Mr. Musk has built a massive supercomputer in Memphis to power XAI, but the company has largely lagged behind competitors like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google software-wise. Hardware-wise, they're doing something different. Mr. Musk has also announced details of a giant chip factory he's building in Texas. And in April, SpaceX announced a $60 billion deal to acquire the AI startup Cursor, which makes a code writing assistant. So they want to jack up Grok's ability to write code and develop. The deal with Google deepens ties between the search giant and the rocket maker. Google owns a roughly 5% stake in SpaceX and has explored the possibility of using SpaceX as a launch partner as Google seeks to put data centers in space, an effort known as Project Suncatcher. And you guys, I don't know if you remember, but a little while ago, we also had this. Google plans to invest up to $40 billion in Anthropic. This was from April, from last month in April. Google will invest $10 billion in Anthropic with another $30 billion potentially to follow. I mean, it's Anthropic. You know you're going to pay. At a $350 billion valuation. Anthropic has ramped up its fundraising amid the breakout success of Claude Code, an agent that speeds the process of writing computer software. Google Cloud will provide computing capacity to Anthropic over the next 5 years as part of an expansion of an agreement between Anthropic, Google, and Broadcom. This was last month, and this is what they were talking about in the article. Anthropic will pay XAI $1.25 billion per month for compute. Earlier this month, Anthropic surprised the AI world with a deal to buy 300 megawatts worth of compute, securing the entire output of Colossus One data center near Memphis, Tennessee. Turns out compute at that scale isn't cheap. Anthropic will be paying XAI $1.25 billion a month through May 2029 with a discounted rate for the first 2 months as XAI completes its ramp up. All told, the deal could bring XAI over $40 billion in revenue. Ooh, that's very interesting. And this is all right before SpaceX IPOs. SpaceX sets price for the world's largest IPO. The $135 share price means Elon Musk's rocket maker is poised to exceed the 2019 initial public offering of Saudi Aramco in both valuation and money raised. SpaceX, Elon Musk's rocket maker and artificial intelligence company, set a price for its initial public offering on Wednesday of $135 a share. This was just this past Wednesday, which would value it at $1.77 trillion and crown it the largest IPO ever. At that price, SpaceX would raise $74 billion from the offering, and its valuation would be more than 40% higher than the $1.25 trillion that it valued itself at February. The current IPO record is held by Saudi Aramco, Saudi Arabia's state-owned oil company, which was valued at $1.7 trillion and raised more than $29 billion, all in dollars, when it went public in 2019. Oh man. And most companies that go public set a preliminary price range for their stock offering before settling on a final number in case investor demand for their shares changes. But Mr. Musk and SpaceX sidestepped that and simply declared one price for investors. SpaceX could still change that price, but is not expected to do so. It is likely to begin trading on the NASDAQ next week under the ticker symbol SPCX. So not SPCE, all right? Don't get too excited by SPCE when it's actually SPCX. So all of this made me want to put it all together. The SpaceX IPO, the Google deal, the Anthropic deal. Just made me want to try to visualize everything a little bit better. This is what we got. We have Google investing $40 billion in Anthropic. And Anthropic potentially paying, well, this is all potential, right? Google potentially investing $40 billion to Anthropic. Anthropic paying $40 billion to XAI, and Google, who also had shares in SpaceX. I used XAI's logo because they're buying compute and stuff, but it is SpaceX. Google also invested $30 billion into SpaceX, and they own around a 5% share. And all of this comes when SpaceX is the first one to file for IPO. at $1.77 trillion valuation. Anthropic rumored to be valued at $1 trillion, filed confidentially for IPO very recently. So all these big money moves is happening at the moment where these companies really need to show that there's a lot of money going around and moving. It's just very interesting to me, especially this cycle right here. Google paying Anthropic, Anthropic paying SpaceX, but also Google paying SpaceX as well. Google's making some big moves. This whole trio. Don't sleep on this alliance right here. We got Microsoft and OpenAI and Oracle and those guys doing their thing, but this trio right here, don't sleep on them. They're making big moves, and I think unofficial alliance is happening right now just to pump SpaceX and then pump Anthropic right after, so they can both have a very high IPOs. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I just wanted to kind of draw up this whole thing and just kind of visualize it and all that. It's very interesting to me that all these moves are happening so fast, so quick. They're announcing these deals back to back while also IPOing these companies. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll keep an eye out on any more news or anything else that happens. But for now, leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. Radio out.